Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a nice little setup off the channel highs here on the S&P. Seeing some pretty solid rejection off the highs. We also had somewhat of a little bit, kind of a trap here. We came back up to the highs, we came back into the channel highs, they poked their head above it, and then immediately dumped back down. Now, we did end as a doji, and that always makes me a little bit nervous. I'm not a big fan of dojis for entries, but that being said, everything else is sort of acting as a compensating factor almost, in that we have plenty of information that are backing this trade. So I'm going in small because I don't like that doji. If we do get more confirmation and then we get a follow-up signal, maybe a nice little entry short, then we'll look to take that one there as well to add on the rest of it. But right now I'm only going in 2 contracts because right now it's just playing it a little bit safe is all. So entry at 92.25. I'm looking for a larger move down to 82.5. Now, in terms of 82.5, we do have the channel in the way, so we do have to pay attention to that. So I'm going to be taking 1 contract off at the channel lows, and then the last contract off at that larger move down. Now, this will move, this target at the channel lows, as we form more candles, but for right now, that's kind of what we're looking for. The stop is going to go above the highs here. 2 contracts, there we go. So from our entry to our first target, we're looking at a 5.5 point target. And then after that, we're looking for more down to that bigger move for 9.5 points. So if we can get this move packed away, we're looking at a total of 15 points. Now, there's 4 ticks in a point, so that's 60 ticks. 60 ticks at $12.50 a tick, that's $750. So even though we're only in this with 2 contracts, there's still more than enough room for a good chunk of profit on the ride down. Now, if we do get more confirmation, I will look to add more, but until that happens, we're just going to kind of let this one play out. So pretty slow start to the morning so far. If we zoom out a little bit here, we can see, we started out looking pretty nice, getting some pretty solid movement, nice moves down, and then it started getting ugly, right? We got into a range. They broke out of the range, but then they came back, and now we're stuck inside there. We broke down again, and that really just formed a larger range here. So we're pretty much, in a way, playing this as a range as well as a very kind of lazy bear channel, looking for price to get back down to those lows here and then see what it wants to do from there. But overall, everything is coming together quite nicely. I'm not anticipating this going within the next couple of candles, though, given the choppiness that we've seen. So we'll give it a little bit of time here and see if we can get that next target at 86.75 filled. All right, so we have a nice confirming move here showing us that they do still want to maintain this area. So I will look to add on 3 more at 89. Now, because of that, I'm going to be obviously increasing my stop, but moving my stop farther away. I'm sorry, closer rather, because if this is going to be our signal to enter in again, I really don't want to see the high of that broken. So my stop is going to get a little bit tighter here. Our first target now, we can take off 3 there, and the second target we'll take off 2 there for the full 5. Nice little add-on position there. They came all the way down, tested the target at the time, and bounced all the way back to that break-even point just to turn back around. We still have yet to physically test those channel lows, so I do still have a downside bias. But that being said, we still need to wait for a signal to add on. So nice little add on there. We got 3 more contracts on. Stop has gotten a little bit tighter. First target is currently at the low of the day, which is also the channel lows. Again, this will continue to change as we get farther and farther into the move. But for right now, just wanted to do a quick little update there for the add-on we were looking at. And now we'll just wait to see if they can break that low a day. All right, we're back down to the lows again. We've seen a lot of bullish pressure here. So far, we've had almost a quad bottom now if we turned up from here, but we get the target filled. Perfect. So now that we have the target filled, we'll move the stop down to 2. Now, because of that add-on, that's going to throw our average position farther down. So instead of moving the stop to break even, I'm going to give it a little bit of room here and put the stop here at 91. That's just to give it as much room as possible because there is a good chance that we see some bouncing here. I am eventually looking for this to break through, but we might get hung up around here, especially given how much control the buyers are trying to put up at these lows. And with that control, that could easily just put us sideways for another hour. It all kind of depends. So locking in the stop nice and tight, but not giving it enough room to give much back. As we get more information, we will look to lock this into break even, especially if we start seeing reason that the breakdown is getting stronger. If we see that the breakdown is getting weaker, the stop will stay put. If it gets stronger, the stop will get tighter. So we're just waiting for a little more information. This is a large profit-taking zone, which is why we took profit here, but just waiting for a little bit more. See if they can break through the lows here, get a nice breakdown like we've been seeing the last couple times out of these ranges, and get that next target at 82.75. All right, sellers pushing back down to the low of day. We are getting a breakdown of the channel lows. So because of that breakdown that we're seeing right now, especially if we tick underneath this, I do want to lock my stop in a little bit tighter and take out some of this excess risk that we're seeing here. Just need to see them actually push through. We're catching a little micro double bottom in here. But if we can get that push through, based on the fact that we closed underneath here, the bulls tried again, right? You can see the bulls on that green candle. Lots of wick on the high showing weakness. The next follow-up was right back down again. So we do know that the bears want this. Now they just need to prove it. So looking to lock my stop down if we can tick underneath this. Come on, S&P. I know you're a slow market sometimes. Just give us that one extra tick there. Once they do push down, there we go. We got the extra tick, and now we've come one tick away. So I'm going to lock my stop in even tighter here. And then we get the target filled. Beautiful move down. Very slow. Just given what we've been seeing today, I guess it's not a big surprise considering the fact that it is a range type day. And along with the range type day, the breakouts aren't even that big, right? We break out of a range and then it chops up again. So we've been seeing that chop fest pretty much all morning. Very lazily bearish. We still have a bearish tone, especially if we zoom out, we can see that. But man, it's taken a long, long time for it to get grinding lower on these moves. Overall, though, we got our move down. That's what we were looking for. Nice initial entry with a small portion because playing it safe. Then we had a nice little add-on there to add on more profit to it. So overall, we end up on the trade with 1,362.50. Now, again, dividing that into point form, that's going to be 341 ticks roughly in that area. So beautiful move down overall. Definitely not going to be upset with $1,300 in the bank coming back on a slow, sleepy Monday. And that's going to do it for me. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Head over to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.